Hey, hello. It's the 17th of January, 2023. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever this gets uploaded and people have a time to tune in. Thank you for tuning in. And we're all adults, but I have to go through the spiel. Please click subscribe, share, make a comment, thumbs up, all that nonsense that people have to do. And if you do want a private reading, I have my email address in the box and so forth. I received a few questions over the past week or so, and people want to know, what is a clairvoyant? The term clairvoyant comes from the French, meaning clear vision. And it's the ability to gain information without having to use an object or a person or a physical location. It's able to see things or hear things or even feel things without having to be there. It's like being able to see things that others don't. Some people are born with it, like me, and some others have developed it over time through meditation and being able to go into an alpha state. I was born with it. One example was when I was very young. I think it was like the summer before I started kindergarten. It was during the Vietnam War era. Okay, I'm showing my age now. But to get back, it was the summer, and one of the girls who lived down the street came in and said, "Oh, my big brother's been drafted into the army, and he has to go to Vietnam." And I was there with my older brothers and stuff, and little me, perked up and said, "He's not going to play soldier. He's not going in the army. He's going to jail." "No, he's not going into the army. He's going to jail." And everybody just kind of poo-pooed me and said, "Go away, go back in the house. We don't want you. You're a pest." And I came in, my mom said, "Why aren't you outside with the rest of the kids?" And I'm like, "Oh, my brothers told me to go in. I'm being a pain." And she's like, "Why?" I go, "Well, so-and-so said that her brother's going into the army, but he's not going into the army. He's going to jail." And my mom's like, "Okay, I think it's better you just stay and play inside for the rest of the day." So I was allowed to go downstairs and watch TV, which we weren't really allowed to, especially back in the 60s in the summer. Then later on, it was after school started, the girl came in crying to school that day, and I'm like, "Why is she crying?" And my brother goes, "We'll tell you later." And that day when we got home from school, he said, "Hey, did you hear that so-and-so got captured?" And he ended up being a guest at the Hanoi Hilton. Of course, as a small child, I did not know what the Hanoi Hilton was. He was basically a prisoner of war. He was a prisoner, little kid. My idea was jail. So he was. Later on, we did find out that he was returned. And that's all I know. I don't know any further how his life went back from he was returned to the United States. As time went on, I started spouting more and more stuff. In third grade, I was then in a new school. I was being taught by nuns. And I kept telling my mom, "No, they do mean stuff. Nuns lie. They don't. I don't want to go to school here. They're mean. They tell lies. It's horrible here. They do bad things to kids." Well, my mom just kind of kept it quiet. She said, "No, don't, just whatever." And then about the late 60s, early 70s, a movie came out. And my mom took me to see it. And it happened to be this one. And my mom explained to me that, "Hey, you know how Daisy gets into trouble because she's able to tell things to people that others don't know about? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, well, you do that. And so we have to keep it a secret. So if you see or hear something about one of the neighbors or something, tell mommy, don't tell anyone else. So for years, that's how I lived my life. I kind of isolated myself. Became a very shy child. Didn't talk to anyone. To this day, I still kind of am very cautious around people. So if people want to see the movie, currently it is streaming on a network called Movieland TV. So it's about a 3-hour investment in time, and it's an enjoyable musical. So that'll give you some reference of what a clairvoyant does and how we live our lives. When we do see things and hear things, it's kind of amazing. I was an early teenager, and I was at Hampton Court, and we were in the section that had been rebuilt by William and Mary. And it was a room where they had a harpsichord playing. And there was a docent in there, curator, member of staff. And I kept saying, hey, what's behind that panel over there? And he's like, there's nothing. I go, no, just go look, run your fingers underneath the molding. And he's like, no, come on. And my mother said, just humor her, please. And the guy did. And out popped a hidden cabinet. And they looked, and they're like, oh my gosh. And walkie-talkies, he's like calling people. And some people, this was in the 70s, people came flying in. They go, how did you discover it? They go, that kid over there, that American girl. She was bugging me. And her mother said, just humor her. And they looked at me, and they looked at my mother, and they just said, how did she know? And my mom just said, she's clairvoyant. And we left. So I don't know if that's ever been documented, but yes, that's one of the strange things that's happened in my life. So yeah, I guess they found documents. When they opened it, I saw papers in there or pieces of parchment. I did see stuff in there. So, well, maybe I might get an email from Lucy Worsley. Who knows? Maybe. Keep my fingers crossed. So I know people are going to ask, oh, so what's going on now? The big thing everyone's want to know is about Henry and Meghan, some of the politics stuff. Well, every time I see JoJo, our current commander-in-chief, I'm thinking I get 72 Nixon. Nixon, of course, had to resign. So I'm making a connection that maybe Biden will be resigning from office. I mean, this is what I keep seeing, hearing, Nixon all over again. This is a new Watergate. So that's American political situation. As for Jeremy Clarkson and the Dastardly Duo, this is a never-ending story. And no matter what anybody does, you're damned if we do, damned if we don't. They're saving this information so they can write a book of all the horrible stuff we've gone through. Poor us. And it's going to be made into another made-for-TV movie. They've already got 2 on Lifetime, so hey, let's make it a trifecta. Well, I've held your attention, or hopefully held it for a long enough time, so I hope everybody has a good day, and I'll catch up with you later. Bye.